So check it out. I was reading I was reading this article, and there's actually a few articles on this that Americans are leaving the U.S. searching for visas to other countries, mostly Europe, Australia, and stuff. But and why are they leaving? There's a slew of reasons. I mean,
well, I would figure at first. I mean, everybody wants to leave because of the economy. I mean,
yeah,
money's got to be the number one issue for most people's decision.
And right now, the people who are able to actually move are, obviously like politicians, celebrities, people that have a couple extra bucks in the bank, $1 million or so. Because what countries in Europe are looking for, they're looking for you to invest into their country. Mm-hmm. And that makes it easier for you to get your passport or visa in there. And I saw in one of the countries is Portugal. And Portugal is not the easiest, but it's one of the easiest to get your visa. So you go there, and let's say you purchase a house for $500,000.
Is it that much over there?
Yeah, it's expensive. Or $1 million, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You buy a house according to the kind of money you have, but you're investing there. So you'll get your visa, and then once you are a citizen of Portugal, you become a citizen of the EU, which then allows you to move throughout Europe. Because Europe's a little different.
So basically you're saying most people would use Portugal as a starting point.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the start points.
To get out of the U.S. and into Europe.
Yeah, it's Europe. And then once you're in there, Europe is... I don't want to say it's kind of like the U.S., but once you have that EU citizenship, it's easy for you to move throughout. Not as easy as us from just going state to state as you want, but it's kind of similar to that, but in a Europe fashion, And I know there's a lot of places like Australia, but Australia is expensive.
Is that expensive?
It's expensive, but it's expensive for us to move there because you got to remember a lot of these places don't want Americans or outsiders coming in, so it's it has to cost, and there's a lot of rules to getting your citizenship, and that's the biggest thing. So they make it a hard time. So they actually want people who have the money make it worth their while. It's like a lot of people who move here from other countries, most of the time go through Canada. It's a little bit cheaper, it's easier to get your visa, and then it's easier to transfer your visa from Canada to the United States than coming from somewhere else. But I mean, I regardless of what their reasons are. I mean,
money's got to be...
Money's one.
I mean, now with, Biden doing all this and Putin with the war.
That's what I'm saying. Would you go to Europe for that? I mean, Europe...
I would leave the U.S. just because of, like I said, just the racism. Racism's a big thing.
But people forget to see that there's racism
everywhere. Everywhere. But I want to see it for myself. I already see what it is in the United States.
Yeah, you can see it
and
here.
We know nothing's going to change with that. Money issues. Look at the issues we're having with just even a baby formula and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I hear you. It's like gold now.
How is something like that?
And especially for, like you said, how is something like that, which is so it's a necessity for our newer generations or our younger generations to evolve, and we don't even have that
in our own country. In the United States.
So of course, there's so many reasons to leave the U.S.
A lot of it too is
gun control.
Well, when you buy a house here, and let's say you're going to retire, okay, you have a home. Let's say you own your home. Well, every year you have to pay property taxes.
Of course.
Right? And property taxes fluctuate. They go up, they go down, right? So if you're living on a fixed income, first couple of years it's, the same, then it shoots up. Then it shoots down, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You get no income coming in. See, the thing about Europe is once you buy a home, you don't pay property taxes. So
there's no taxes in Florida, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's property tax.
I don't think there's property tax in Florida.
But they have other tax to make up for it.
But again, I don't want it to flood me, live down there and rain every.
Yeah. Plus, it's getting totally crowded. I mean,
everywhere. I mean, I feel like that's another reason that you would leave here. It is just so crowded. I mean, like I said, I left the city of New York
Yeah.
to come down because I wanted my kids to be out of the city area. I wanted them to experience new things. But now coming down here, from when I've been here 5 years, I mean,
crazy out
every
here.
corner is just
Yeah,
new
they're
houses.
building and
you're not
building and
seeing.
building.
Yeah, I remember driving down streets, seeing just land and trees, and it was beautiful.
It's all gone.
Gone. Now you don't see anything.
And you know, and
Just
I'm
buildings
looking
and
at it,
houses.
and I'm like, where are all these people coming from? Like, we know there's an influx of people leaving, like New York, and Jersey, and Pennsylvania. You know, what I'm
and just
saying?
all the big cities that they're paying so much money for.
Yeah, super
nobody
high
wants
dollar.
to pay $1,200 to $1,500 for a studio.
No, even more than that. That's,
No, now
that's
I know. I'm still living 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
that's the cheap one.
I'm still living 5 years ago. I'm sorry.
And you know, money is probably one of the biggest things. And like when people retire, like I know my wife's cousin just moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
He was a New York City cop for years, just retired. So he collects a pension.
Yeah.
So they were able to sell their home in New York, which was on Long Island, which was super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd be able to take that money and come. They made a huge profit.
Of course.
And then they can come down here, buy an enormous home. For I don't even think he spent all the money that he made.
Well,
you know what I'm
again,
saying?
that's what my mom and my dad did.
Yeah.
My dad's a retired FBI agent, and for what he bought his New York house for, and what he sold it for when he left, it's astronomical because with the prices had been up there. But again, my dad had the house for 40 years.
Yeah,
and then sold it, and obviously he didn't pay
He made
much.
some good money
He
on
made
it.
a lot of good money for it.
And that's the whole thing here too. It's like there's people coming down here like that have that extra money. But the problem is this area where we're at now is building up so fast.
So fast.
And if you notice, all the housing prices have gone, especially through that whole wood price gouge, that phase where wood was super expensive.
But building houses was just astronomical.
Yeah,
Yes,
they were charging like 150, 200,000 per house because of the wood price.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen when you come down here and you buy a $600,000-$700,000 home, and when the housing market goes back down, and all those homes are going to be upside down.
Yes, but you gotta also understand it's probably benefit them if they're coming from big cities anyway. Because, like you said,
Yes.
right now, I mean, the average house in New York is $600,000 to $700,000.
Yeah.
You're
that's-
still, and what you paid for it from whenever you bought it, you still made a killing off of it. And
Yeah.
granted, when you get down here, yes, you're gonna be paying more than expected, like from what I paid. I mean, it's almost double from what I paid for my house.
Yeah, I know.
Than it
It's
is now.
way cheaper. It's
Yeah, so I mean,
And
in the long run, it'll even out, but we'll still be on the high end. I think people are still going to be.
yeah,
on
you'll
the
still
high
make
end.
out,
Yeah.
especially now. Like people can move overseas, because you don't have to be in one place to work anymore, depending on your job. You know what I mean? And if you're a movie star, they shoot movies there. Whatever the case may be, politician, you can always telecommute. But I think a lot of it is the money, the price is going up, and also a lot of our country is being pushed with immigration on top of it.
Yeah, well, look at healthcare.
So where are those people going to go? That's the question. Yes, it's great you're coming here. It's great that you're having a second chance at life. But when you have nothing and you come here, where are you going to go? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And just look at the last 5 years. Look at Los Angeles, the way it's been.
I'm telling you,
just a bum city.
You know how I knew it was bad is from when I bought my house. My neighbors on each side are about 25 to 30 feet from my house.
Yeah.
Now, when you drive around and see these new developments, I'm talking about maybe 10 feet.
It looks like New York, New Jersey
maybe
houses.
10 feet from each other.
Boom, boom, boom. Like
Yeah, you can literally spit from
yeah.
one window and hit the
Yup.
house next to you. It's really crazy, and I hate that because I'm a loud person. Just normal. I'm loud. I like to have
you
fun.
don't want people listening to your stuff.
And, people can literally they'll hear me if I was in one of those developments. I'd have probably gotten thrown out already. But like I said, my house is good 30 feet away from my neighbors.
Well, if you think about it, when people come down here from up there, even housing situations like that,
it's better.
It's still better than
for that. Yes, exactly.
like
But-
Jersey City or
yes. Honestly, when they're coming from big cities, Los Angeles, New York, they're coming over here. It's probably 1,000 times better for them.
Yeah.
But just saying, for me, that I've gotten down here and I've seen a lot, and now that I bought my own house and now seeing all this development everywhere, it's ridiculous.
It blows my mind.
I wish I can bring you back into my mind to see how it was when I first got there.
Yeah, it was
With all
quiet,
the
it was
quiet, all the
beautiful.
open area.
We had all the essentials we needed.
Everything.
There was nothing
everything.
lacking.
Grocery stores were 5 minutes away.
Yep.
Everything. Everything was in the area, but I mean, it was more trees. It was quieter.
Yeah, it
now
felt like you moved somewhere. Now it's gonna end up being like home, and that's gonna drive everything up.
Oh, the prices are just gonna flip flop, like you said.
So we're just trading,
crazy.
one for another, and especially look at Florida. Florida is super expensive.
Yeah,
There's not that many jobs. People
and there's
still
no
go there.
property tax, and there's no tax. That's what I'm saying, and people want that.
But eventually, there's going to be no
There's gonna be
beautiful
room.
land.
There's going to be any landscape.
It's going to be houses.
It's going to be any
Apartments.
landscape. Nothing. It's just going to be streets, street signs, and lights everywhere.
Yeah,
Basically, what it's going to be, because
It is.
again, nobody knows that around the area where we live, but there's a corner on Asheville Highway, and it was a beautiful corner. A big mountain, nice landscape.
Yes.
And now they tore it all down, and they're making hundreds of houses. And the thing that I'm thinking of, there is only one 2-lane road between that. Now you just can imagine this traffic that it's going to bring.
Yeah,
it's just going to
be like that for years.
Be
and people are like, well, why don't they do the roads before they build the homes? Well, the roads cost money.
Yeah.
So they want to build the homes first, collect the money, and then redo the roads.
And you got to understand, it's harder to build roads on old existing roads, because then you have all that traffic. These places, they're just knocking trees down and building as many houses as they can.
Yeah,
they worry about how you get in later. And that's the problem.
It's true. They're building it and say, okay, there's development here.
Yeah, we'll put a street here, and we'll put a street here, and
one-way road.
Yeah, and be done
and
with
that's what's happening. A lot of places are getting jammed up like that.
Yeah, so I already know around that 3 to 5 o'clock time,
it's
you
becoming,
just don't go that way.
It's becoming way more urban. Than, because you want to live in the suburbs, and Joe Biden was like, I want to get rid of the suburbs.
I'm just glad I got here when I did.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Like, we got here when we did, so I was able to enjoy it and able to, adjust.
Yes. And
but a lot of these places, like I also saw another article where, it costs $90,000 to be lower middle class to live in San Francisco.
Well, I was going to bring that up. Everybody knows one of my contacts in the West Coast, called West Coast Manny. That's my cousin, so I've known him my whole life, and he's thinking within like another 3 to 4 to 5 years of leaving California and coming down south. And
is he coming to the East Coast, or is he
he's gonna come
Southwest Coast?
He's going to come either North Carolina, South Carolina area.
Okay.
And his house market right now is about 1.8 for his house.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right? And of course, he didn't buy it for that.
Yeah, of course.
He's been there for almost 20 years.
But it's going.
It's gotten so ridiculous. Okay, so I know when he leaves his area, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be able to sell his house. But then I told him, you might not want to wait another 5 to 6 years.
That's true, because all these new homes is because everybody, the builders know everyone's coming here.
Yes, everybody.
And at least half of them have some sort of money.
And I try to tell him, you should have been here 3 years ago. 3 to 5. If he would have came here 3 to 5 years ago, the what he had gotten and what he would have paid for a house down here,
easily,
he would have been. He'd be able to retire, which he wants to do when he comes down.
He'd live like a king.
He'd live like a king down here.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, he could have got a probably a mansion down here for like
4 or 5 bedrooms.
Yeah,
250,000,
maybe 300, maybe 300. Okay, so but
now it's
like
at least
7.
400 more.
I would say like 6. I would say like 6 altogether.
Is the house even going to be worth it? Because, like I said, they never stopped building, and they built through all this when a piece of OSB board was $60.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know.
So it's like they add that cost in. So that's where it's going to, affect people. But when people move from here to Europe, I don't, I love living in the U.S. and I don't think Europe is a better place to go.
Well, I couldn't tell you that yet. I've never been there. I do want to travel there.
Well,
but
I've been to Europe. Europe's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to live there though, because it's a little bit different than here. It's a little bit like it's very old.
Old school, yes, more old school.
So a lot of the areas are very well built up.
Yeah, but
there are countrysides and stuff.
I think that'd be beautiful.
The language barrier, you gotta remember. I mean, most people speak English.
Yeah, but now you got apps. You got apps.
You got
apps now. We're not gonna worry about the language barrier because now we can do so much with our phone. I mean, for me, I would think all the old and the rustic look, that's beautiful.
Yeah, yes.
Down here, like you said, man, there's so much new shit. That's all you see. You don't see any old school. Everything down here is out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
In Europe, I feel like they keep it to their norm. I think that'd be beautiful.
It's been around for much longer, you know what I mean? But see, the problem I have is no matter where you go in Europe, if one country is doing bad and goes down, it kind of drags all of them down together. And if you obviously have money to move there and you have means to keep making money, then it's probably not a big deal. I just don't see people like you or me, selling our homes and moving over there with only having a few bucks in your pocket. I don't think that's a wise thing to do. I don't think it's possible.
Obviously, you don't want to make any huge moves like that without the proper finance.
Yeah, it's but people are moving there and thinking, well, since let's say lockdowns and all that was here, but if you look at the rest of the world, our lockdowns during the pandemic were probably the most lenient. If you look through Europe, Australia,
even China,
and you go to those places, you can't leave your home. So I don't think that's a good enough reason to say, well, I'm leaving the U.S. because if something ever happens, they do that. Their democracy isn't like ours.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, it's a little bit, has a little bit of socialism in it. So it's, it might even be worse. Yeah. And I can see immigration, but there's immigration all over the place. Even in Europe, it's being all this. Everywhere that has people want more. Want to go there because there's more opportunities.
Basically, there's way too much of us for this world.
See, you know what? And I think that too. I do think that. But I was watching an interview with Elon. Elon thinks, and it's not just Elon, but it's a bunch of people think that there's not enough. Like the birth rates and stuff have been dropping significantly.
Yeah, I gotta go the other way.
But the problem is
there's just too much.
There is
not enough resources.
But think about all the people. Think about the percentage of people that actually work and create stuff and make the money to the people that don't. I want you to think about India and China.
But we go back go back to just like what we said. There's so many people even just moving down here. They're literally destroying all the resources that we have down here.
Yeah, sucking our resources. And then eventually there's only going to be...
And it's all for money, and that's the problem.
So many jobs.
You're creating money with jobs, with buildings and making all of the labor and all that. But again, you're just destroying the world. And it's hard to divide those two because yes, everybody wants money, but how long are we going to be here? And that's why your boy Elon is already trying to get out.
Yeah, he thinks it's a better choice to have an option, But having the more people, see, a lot of the ages right now are a little older. So as people start going out of the way, we're not replenishing enough. So we're going to build all this infrastructure, and all this technology, and we need people to actually, run it to make it work. And I think
what that makes me think. Too much of our generation are on our phones and not being out and meeting the right person. And
I agree. I think about it. Think about the think about.
If you're thinking that there's not enough people on there and there was abundance about 20 to 30 years ago, there was too many. You go to our generation, and our generation has everything that can make you lazy.
It's true.
You don't got to go out. Well, not my generation.
And I also think it's harder to raise kids now.
Yeah, well, what do you mean it's harder?
know,
They
when you're
just
younger,
let them live.
You know, now in this day and age coming up, it's more costly, and people are
look at
opting
we don't
to
have formula.
Yeah, people are opting to have maybe one, 2 children at the max. China is their birth rate's falling real low because remember those whole years when you can only have one child?
No, I know, yeah, because they would have. I mean,
and it was boys. So now China is like it has an enormous vacant slot for women. Like there's thousands and millions of Chinese men that have no partners because there literally is no females.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Yeah. So I mean, that's always something you could think about.
But you know what though, the fact of the matter is, would I leave the United States? No.
I would leave. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would leave, but I'd probably leave and come back.
But it depends where you went. Like let's
Anywhere.
say you moved to Mexico.
Okay.
So like Cancun or Costa Rica or something. You know what I mean? You can live like a king there.
Colombia. I can live like a king. I can live like king. I wouldn't mind that.
There's my friend.
Then you got to worry about my family getting something happen to them down there.
That's the thing, though. See what I'm saying?
There's always a bad side to
safety
the good
is
side.
not the same as it is here. No matter where
they
you go.
Kidnap everybody for money around there.
And I had a buddy. His wife's parents retired. Mm-hmm. This is within the last 10 years. They moved to Panama because their dollar was going to stretch a lot further.
Yeah. Again,
they liked it. Here. They liked it for a while, but they're actually moving back to the U.S. because it was very it wasn't as safe as they thought it was.
Yeah.
Goods and services are not as plenty, as they are here. So they're coming back. Plus, they had no way to really make money. If you don't have an outsourced type of income coming from the U.S. or from Europe, and you're making money within those little countries, you're going to be making the same as everybody else.
No, you're going to be paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, and it's not enough to maintain. If you own a big house or this and that, there's a reason why there's a lot of poor people in the country because of what their wages are and how much things cost. And did you know that if you make over $34,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the world. Top 1% of the world. That is ridiculous. Because think about if you make less than $34,000 here, you are you're struggling.
Yeah.
You could be possibly homeless.
Yeah.
Think about the rest of the world. They don't even make $10,000 a year.
I know, but the cost of living.
And look at all those people in India, and all the Asian countries. I mean, it's out of control. It's crazy. So when he says we need more people. Okay, but where are we going to put those people? Because if nobody can have clean water or nobody can eat, where are these people going to go? What are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? You're causing more of a burden on the people that are actually producing.
This gets me to think, just be grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you have. Be
grateful you live here. Be
grateful for what you worked hard for and continue to work hard. And I know this doesn't look like there's any light at the end of the tunnel, but again, I live by the rule: do more, you can be more, and you can do more. Do more, be more. Anything you can do to make a better you is gonna help in the long run. Just keep positive, keep your head straight, work hard, and anything can happen. I promise you that.
Yeah. Well, speaking about leaving. Aren't you going to Vegas?
I am. If you guys didn't see a couple of shows ago, I am getting married. So my bachelor party will be in Vegas next week. So I won't be recording, but I will be taking some extremely cool photos when I'm in Vegas and some videos.
Yeah, keep your eyes open for that.
Maybe even go live, kind of open up the conversation if I should get that extra bottle, or I should not take that extra drink, something like that.
Yeah, something.
I wish my boy RC could be there, but he has prior engagements, so I'm gonna have to go without him.
That's true. I'm a little sad.
And I am too, everybody. So, but again, if anybody's been to Vegas, and I know I have, I know RC has, Vegas is Vegas. Okay, so what I would like from any of you who are watching, if you've ever been there and you think I should be looking into going to some special places that you think are cool, maybe get a comment. Maybe I'll even go live as I go to that place.
Yes, that would be great.
Tell you what I think about it. Don't get dirty with me, people. Don't get dirty. Remember, I am getting married. But if you have some
strip clubs,
recommendations on restaurants, maybe clubs, something like that, I would love to hear it. And if you like to hear what we're saying, hit that like button, share button, subscribe. It's free. We are two funny guys trying to talk, trying to make your day. I mean, just let us know. Again, I will be going to Vegas. If anybody has any cool things, send it.
Send them in.
Send out on comments. Let me get it. And like I said, if it's somewhere reasonable that I can go live, I will.
Yeah.
Don't get me in trouble, everyone.
On location.
So yes, again, likes, share, subscribe, and stay updated for those Vegas pictures. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. Again, Mother's Day was just this weekend, so happy belated Mother's Day to anybody that didn't see our other stream. But happy Mother's Day, all the mothers. You guys, enjoy. All right, and I'll see you guys hopefully in Vegas. Well, you'll definitely see me there. All right, guys. See you later.
See you later.
Thanks.